living in the moment and giving something your whole attention can feel so good. There's this flow state that you can enter, and it lets you forget about the rest of your lived experience, and you can just focus on one tiny slice of your life. For example, when you're in a raid and you feel like you're doing a really good job, and maybe it's a speed run, or maybe you're parsing and it's just for a minute on a boss fight. And a lot of people live for those experiences. But I've been thinking a bit today about how there's a bad side of this too with living in the moment. And that's all the negative emotions you're ever going to have in your life. Most of them, like almost all of them, in some logical sense, they're there for a reason. They get you to do things that are going to make your life better. You get sad or angry about things, or there's other feelings you can have like hunger, and they compel you to take actions that will help you out over the long term, but you have to experience them second by second, and it can feel like an eternity, and you have so little control over it. And it's you can maybe mask, but you can't really root cause the problem second by second and destroy it. No. If you're angry, you can learn to shut the fuck up and not attack your friends verbally. You can learn not to freak out and cry when you're sad. But I don't really think you can learn to just turn the emotion off when it's convenient. It's there. It's hunting you. when times are good, it's great. And if things feel bad, it can feel really bad. And a lot of this is people get really, or at least I get really invested in certain things in my life, like this game. It's a really, really big part about my life right now. It's huge. I've spent the last almost 6 months just committed to trying to put a guild together and make a community that would feel worth being involved in forever. I want to have more really great lifelong friends that have I don't know, maybe, I mean, on my end it's like there's just certain experiences I want to have, but maybe really what I'm after is for us to be like predisposed to enjoy similar things and enjoy similar people. Who knows? And there's hard things involved in that, like getting to know people really well and then growing apart from them, and that can feel really tough. Or being really committed to the raid's success. But if you're committed to the raid's success and you're really committed to the raid getting better, which is like what I'm committed to, well, that's something where you're guaranteeing yourself to be upset at some point in time. And that's it's funny. It's hard to know in some sense that that's what's going to happen. I think people have this happen with their careers too, where they'll work for years at a place, and then they'll have stagnated income-wise or responsibility-wise or meaning-wise in their job, and they should have been able to see it coming from a mile away, but it just sneaks up on you, and then you're just there. And then you just have feelings about it because you put all this time in there. So of course you're going to have feelings about it. And you can take actions to fix these problems over time, maybe feel differently. But in the moment, what are you going to do? There's not a whole lot it feels like you can't do anything. It feels like it. I think there actually are things you can do, but damn, does it feel like there's nothing you can do and like you're lost? I had a raid earlier today that I don't know if I'd say it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, but I was really worried that it wouldn't go the way I wanted it to go. I was very, very worried about that. And I had reasons to be worried. We were going to be undermanned. And a lot of people are going to be on their friends' characters, their alt characters, because their mains have gotten banned. And a lot of these alt characters wouldn't have gear. So we're going to be like 37 manning. Or sorry, not 37 manning, 33 manning. And we have like a 55 lock and a whole bunch of completely fresh 60s. People are on classes that they're not on all the time, which isn't really a huge deal. The game's really simple. And then it's like you get to experience, while you're thinking about how to mitigate a problem, you get to experience the thing you're afraid of at the same time you try to mitigate it. And then, oh, this is great. Fuck me. I sound like a psycho because I'm talking about a video game. But fuck you. This better be funny to you, because you worry about shit in stupid ass ways too, probably, like your fucking love life or like your job or school. I'm just more autistic than you, so it's about the fucking video game instead of like my things that happen outside the game, which are kind of limited, other than spending time with my wife. But okay, you judgmental motherfuckers, you better be grinning at this. But you get to experience then the bad thing when it happens too. You know? So if you really worry about stuff, and I'm not saying you have the option to not worry about things, but you get to sit there and be super stressed out. And then if it doesn't go the way you dream of, you get to be stressed out a second time. You silly, stupid fuck. Look what you've done. And that's what I did with some of the pulls in Raid. I was really worked up, and usually I don't know if I want to say I'm calm, because it's like I don't feel a whole lot of bad things in Raid. But I was mad. I was like preemptively mad for certain things to get screwed up. And I had this like mean energy to me and this anger that I then, got to shower all over my guildies that I really care about, because I'm unable to control myself sometimes. And predict in front of them what places we can screw up. And, probably stress my teammates out and make them get to experience what it would be like, what they would imagine it would be like if we make the mistakes I'm worried about. And then we get to make the mistakes right on after. So we get to like feel it twice back to back, because I'm a fucking genius. This is totally a logical thing I did, was fucking yelling at people about trash pulls. Oh man. It's it really is funny how caring about things, I truly believe caring about things like people and the outcome of events and, like your guildies and accomplishments, whatever, all that. I think it's important. You should care about things like that. But like when you start caring about stuff, like there's a trade-off. Like with people, you can care about people a lot and you can lose them. And that sucks. You can care about how a raid's going to go and it can go bad, and that sucks. You could care about your individual parse, and then that can, that will go bad one day, and you can just feel like you're wasting your time. Or you could just not care about the people you're around, and then there's no feeling of loss ever, and you could just not care about the game, and you could just have joy from, I think you'd have a lot less of, but you could just have joy from really tiny little experiences that don't have any goal-oriented behavior surrounding them. And when things don't go right, I think with people, with the game, with anything, I've had this thought before that's just come to me. I wish I could care less. I wish I could care less about this. Like, why do I care so much? And you can even get into a conversation with yourself about how silly it is to care. And I don't know, maybe that works for you. It doesn't work for me, because I really do care. I care a lot about very few things. I care about those things. Like, I don't care about any comments in my videos that say things that maybe other people would think I would dislike seeing. Like, I do not get an emotional response from shitty comments. It doesn't really bug me. I don't get much of an emotional response from positive comments either, which I think goes hand in hand, which is unfortunate. Although I do appreciate positive comments, but it's like I have I have found a way to deal with the trade-off of caring about things gives those things leverage over you. I used to not read any of the comments for a very long time. That's what I did. I noticed that I knew some other YouTubers, and I noticed that they would tell me things like, they'd say this, I don't really care about the negative comments, and they would tell me about their negative comments a lot in detail. And I was like, I think you care. And so I decided, and this is a smart move for a while, that I wouldn't read any of them. And that worked. And now I read all of them. And I just can't feel too much about any of them. I think that's a place where caring less makes sense and creates value for me. And there's probably places like that in your life. For example, the opinions of strangers. If you have no real chance of having a future with those strangers, you probably shouldn't care. But then there's other places where I think it's obvious that it matters. Like I really care what my guildies think about me and what they think about each other and the guild, and I care about them having faith in our community. A lot. And I think that's obviously just a good thing to care about. Even though it cuts both ways. It's going to cut really good when we're all hanging out in Vegas in a month. That's going to be awesome because I'm going to really care that some of them were able to make it and that they're spending their time with me. They could be doing anything else. In the same way, I really care that there are people that are at this point in this stupid fucking video. You could be watching such better content from such smarter people. There's so many options out there, and you chose to spend your time here, and that it fucking means something, obviously, and that means something to me. But the things we care about do control us. It would be nice if we controlled us more, I think. But maybe that idea is wrong too. Anyways, thanks for listening. If you run a guild and it feels really hard, ever, it's supposed to. There's no way it wouldn't.